All right, John Zanis, Evan Lazar here. We are profiling every single player the Patriots selected in the 2021 NFL Draft. Sixth round, they had two selections. They took a safety with their first one, and then they went guard. Again, from a positional standpoint, not what you expected the Patriots to do with these two picks. Guard William Sherman here, and Evan, you had a chance to look at him. Your initial thoughts on the player?
Well, he's built a lot like Isaiah Wynn. So he's got a very similar issues as Isaiah Wynn because he's a player that played right tackle in college, predominantly actually played on the left side his last year for Colorado. And he's 6'3", 33.5-inch arms, 304 pounds. That's more or less what Isaiah Wynn's measurables are. So yep. I think the Patriots feel like with Isaiah Wynn, certainly letting him play tackle. I'm not comparing Sherman's level of talent to Isaiah Wynn, who's a first-round pick, but I wouldn't rule out them thinking that Sherman can play both tackle and guard in the NFL and kind of be that hybrid sort of swing player, if you will. They are accustomed to working out in the Patriot land. You know, we had a lot of guys like that play a little bit of guard, play a little tackle. I think Justin Herron is another one of those guys. Michael Onwenu certainly one of those guys. So I think that's where they're going with this pick. Now, when I watch Sherman, I do see a player that is pretty fluid and has that hip mobility that you would like to see. And certain guys aren't able to kind of unlock those hips and do what's called coil their bodies. So go from the ground up to generate power and generate movement. I think that he's a guy that can be able to do that. That's going to be able to get underneath people a little bit and be able to mirror guys. Now, is he the biggest people mover in the world? No. And play strength, certainly play strength of the ability to kind of sustain blocks in the run game and then also anchor against speed to power and bull rushing against with pass rushers is a little bit of a concern with this player, but I think that he has some ability there to be able to be a nice swing tackle, guard tackle type of player that's a depth piece. You know, so someone that you get in a sixth round that can maybe be your fourth tackle or fourth guard or something like that down the road.
With some versatility, and again, the Patriots have, as you said, had success drafting players like this. And again, this guy only played tackle in college. He's listed as a guard for draft purposes, but you having a little flexibility and having somebody who could slide out there, you know, in the past. You do have a couple guys on the roster do it now. You saw Tooney as someone who was available to also do that. That definitely helps if he's able to stick. It's nice to have someone can play that in a pinch if you absolutely need it. So that's that. The other thing we talked about, Evan, is just the Patriots' overall success drafting offensive linemen.
Right.
It is incredible, and it is one of the reasons why a team like them can wait and pick guys later in the rounds, because they're enormously successful grabbing guys, day three players, linemen, and making them really productive NFL starting caliber players.
Right. So there's always one trait that you can kind of hang on to with those guys that do succeed in later rounds. With Michael Onwenu, it's obviously his size and his ability to, at the point of attack, his power. Right. Justin Herron is a little bit more athletic. And I think that Sherman fits a little bit more of the Justin Herron archetype of an athletic player that can work up to blocks at the second level, that can block in space, that has the agility and the foot slides to be able to mirror pass rushers at the tackle position. So he is an athletic prospect, you know, not someone, I'm not saying he's a super athlete by any means, but he is a good athlete. That's sort of what he hangs his hat on, is his ability to move his feet and mirror guys in the pass rush or work up to the second level and block in space and block on the move and things like that. So I think there is some ability and some athletic upside with this player. And they have a guy in Onwenu who obviously is their bulldozer. So they go out and they get a guy like Will Sherman, Justin Herron. These players are a little bit more athletic and can do a little bit more in terms of tackle guard versatility, being in space and mirroring guys on the outside and things of that nature.
And and as I said, there's one thing I feel good about. It's the Patriots finding talented offensive linemen really anywhere in the draft, and that's something that they've been extremely successful doing. Again, you can catch every one of our player profiles for every single player picked by the Patriots in this year's draft on our YouTube page on Patriots Press Pass. Of course, follow Evan Lazar on CLNS Media and on Twitter as he continues to do film breakdown. We're just going to do deeper dives into these guys, and there'll be a lot more information and analysis coming out in the days to come. In addition to that, there's going to be a whole slew of undrafted free agents, some of whom may be exciting to some people. We're going to be profiling those in the coming days as well. So make sure you keep it here. For Evan Lazar, I'm John Zanis. Thanks for watching.